I
Shocking.
love starting on time. Hey, George. Nice to see you, George. All righty, folks. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So let's jump in. Today's session, we had 95 people booked for today's session, which just tells me how important this topic is. So what Claude and I'm going to give Claude the stage in a minute, and you just wait, guys. Claude's got lots to share with you. What we thought we'd talk about on today's session is how we're going to convert more leads and boost more sales to get you better performance. So how to turn a no into a maybe and turning a maybe into a yes. And there's a lot of reasons why this topic is so important. Now, most of you on this call I know really, really well, but for a lot of you, there's a few on here that I haven't had the chance to meet before. So hi guys, my name is Alicia, also known as AJ. I am a very passionate and enthusiastic real estate investor, but my main passion is helping other real estate investors be more successful in their businesses. And I come from that background of business coaching and consulting. I've been featured in more than 75 different podcast articles. I'm about to release an interview with Kevin Harrington from Shark Tank, so I'm super excited about that. So lots of stuff coming. For those that don't know about Supercharged Offers, we are a done-for-you real estate marketing company, helping you out with everything to do with your acquisitions marketing. And we now have a new product called Buyer Finder for your dispositions marketing too. So this is not a sales call though to go into that. I just wanted you to know all the different things that we do. So let's talk about why we're here today. With Supercharged Offers, our specialty is getting you leads. That's what we do. We get you leads from cold calling, direct mail, websites, Google ads, Facebook ads, you name it. We're getting you leads from a number of different directions. But your job is to close those leads. Now, I know that a lot of you are struggling at the moment to do that, which is why we put on this webinar. In order to close leads, you need a number of different skills, and some of them Claude is going to touch on today. You need to understand rapport building. Oh, am I recording this? Just
Yeah, you're
making
you're
sure.
recording it. You're good.
Yeah, awesome. I just, for a moment there, my brain went, it's the end of the week, AJ. Make sure you push record. So, in order to close your leads, you need a whole range of skills. First of all, building rapport and doing that genuinely, having an expectation mindset to manage your leads' expectation, being able to lead a conversation with your leads, negotiation skills, closing skills, overcoming objections, and keeping control of your lead in your pipeline with the next steps that you're doing. There's a lot of moving parts when it comes to managing leads, and Claude's going to go into a bit more detail about that. And here's the thing, I've got a lot of people saying to me at the moment, and by the way, guys, we are in a seller's market. So a lot of people are saying, oh, my leads, they all want market value, or they're not motivated, et cetera, et cetera. Folks, the reality is that happens. We go through cycles in real estate, and we're in a cycle at the moment that it is a seller's market. So that means that less of the market is going to be fully motivated, and more of the market is going to be holding on and asking for as much as they can. So a lead is a lead is a lead. I am of the opinion, I do not care where a lead comes from, as long as we can get them into your ecosystem and you can now work that lead. Because once you're in touch with someone, the whole world opens up. So you are going to have some people that are motivated, but you're also in a seller's market going to have more people that are just curious. You're going to have people with property problems. And by the way, guys, the gold is in the tough stuff. So if you've got problems with properties like probates, title issues, things that you need to sort through with that property owner, lean into more of those deals, because you are going to learn a lot in those deals, but you're also going to get more deals over the line. You're going to have website leads, phone leads, email leads, cold call leads. They are all leads, no matter where they come from. So I don't want you to have a mindset of discounting a lead until you've taken that lead through a number of stages, okay? So what about though when those leads don't convert? When leads don't convert, we're human, right? We end up in a stage where our confidence bombs, we feel a little frustrated. Our self-belief starts to go out the window. Yeah, Claude's doing this. We start to go, bah, can I even do this business anymore? And you feel like giving up. But let me give you the news flash here. This is normal. When you're in sales, this happens on the daily, right? So what we want to do is get you out of that. The number one thing is all going to be starting up here in your mindset. And I want to start with this first comment here, right? If you feel you can't, then you won't. Let me say that again. If you feel you can't, then you won't. Now that's in my Aussie accent, but basically what that means, if you feel like you can't pick up the phone and make that offer, you probably won't. If you feel like you're not going to get that lead over the line and be a good negotiator, you're probably right. So really be aware of the mindset and the story that you're telling yourself. This mindset all needs to be through the lens of what I call TTP, talk to people. Just keep talking to people and be yourself. Doesn't matter if you don't have all the answers, just be yourself. Learn, implement, adjust as you go. You know, a lot of you know that we've just started our own cold calling team. They are going phenomenal, but we're learning, we're implementing, we're adjusting, we're taking feedback, we're altering scripts, we're doing things to make sure that we're agile. And that's really important. With your leads, be genuinely curious, have a curiosity mindset, because asking questions rather than just doing more talking is what we're doing. I want every single one of you to take a few things away from today, but these two things are the most important. Start each call knowing that you have everything inside you at the moment to do this, knowing that you can. Approach each deal knowing that that deal can be done. And that knowing doesn't mean that you know for 100% that it is going to happen, but if you have the mindset of, I know that I can do this, you will then prepare, you will execute, you will move forward, and you will keep going. Okay. So that's AJ on her soapbox, talking about all things sales when it comes to, you know, where the market's at the moment. I'm going to hand over to Claude.
I am here. Wait, I'm hearing a little. Can you guys hear me okay? Because AJ froze a little.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, good. Can we go back to the gallery, or what should I do? Mindset? Can we go to the gallery?
I think we might have lost AJ.
Okay. Can I control the view? Yeah, there we are. Look at all the people. Oh, my friends are here. Nitzan is here. George is here. Who else? Annette is here. Oh, wow, that's great. A lot of my friends and students have come on board. Hey, hello, everybody. Is everybody in Australia? You guys are everywhere. Yeah, I can't hear you, Alicia.
Said, I'm the only person that's in Australia, Claude. Everyone else is stateside.
Okay. Good. I'm in Winter Park, Colorado right now. I am not a little ski town outside of Denver. This town goes up to 12,060 feet. I live part of the year here. I live part of the year in San Diego. I live part of the year in Pinehurst, North Carolina, where golfers go to die. And a little bit about my background. I've written 9 books on sales and real estate investing. I've been investing for about 32 years. You can't tell because of the cheap hair dye I use. But I love this business. It's a great business. It's given my family unbelievable prosperity. At this point, we are debt-free, mortgage-free. We own a lot of real estate. We have a passive income, monthly passive income that's probably higher than most people make in 1 to 2 years through our business. I'm still an active investor, even though I don't have to be, because I love it. It's fun. It's challenging. I got started, basically, everybody remember when you got real estate fever? Remember that moment? You know, that's when you bore all your friends run away from you because all you talk about is real estate all the time. And I've gone to every seminar. I've read all the books when I first got started in real estate. And I remember my wife and I moved from New Jersey to San Diego. And I'm in law school, and she's a nurse, and we have a new baby, and I'm working real hard. And somehow I got together 12 properties while I'm doing, and believe me, while you're doing that in law school, that's something right there. And here's the interesting thing. You guys want me to tell you the truth, or or sugarcoat everything today? What you tell me. I can give you the
There's no
gurus.
sugarcoating on this call,
Okay,
but
no
that's what I'll go
sugarcoating.
with.
Okay, good. I like, and you guys can participate and ask questions and jump in. I have no problem with that. Or check my chat there. I got a freebie for you, and I have a 24-hour super discount on my program if you're interested on it. Anyway, had 12 properties, and we're still broke. We're watching every penny. We're living in a 2-bedroom apartment. And I said, what am I doing wrong? And something was missing. And I was very fortunate. I know the moment my life and my fortune changed, I met my mentor, Max. I even wrote a book about him, The Mentor Teaches Success. And he was kind of a character like me. And I saw him on the phone, and he made more money in one phone call than I could make, than I was making in a whole year with a law degree and a business degree and a corporate 500 Fortune 500 job. And I said, how'd you do that? And he said, I don't know. I just do it. And that's when I learned that I better learn sales. And in my opinion, sales is the $1 million skill. There's 3 things we really need to be successful in this business. You need a strategy. I loved lease purchasing options. I've written books and packages about that. On my webpage is claudediamond.com if you want to find, or go to YouTube. I got 2,000 videos there on real estate and sales. And you got to have a strategy, an idea. You got to know what you're talking about. You got to provide a product or a service to people. I did. A lot of my students are in storage centers, into all kinds of different real estate, construction real estate, into residential, all kinds of different areas. So you got to have a strategy or a means. Number 2, you have to do what AJ's talking about all the time. You got to have leads. You got to have people to speak to. Okay. And if you don't have leads, it doesn't matter how good a salesperson you are. But the number 3, the thing that changed my life, that turned it around. I know the minute from going from broke to being totally independent, totally free. I have no employees. I have very low overhead. I run a multi-million-dollar business with my wife. And basically it was learning how to sell. I believe we have lost the art and science of how to sell. And that's what I learned from my mentor. I watched him. I saw how he spoke on the phone. And I think we need to get on the phone with people. There's something I like. One of my mottos is we need to give good phone. Okay. If we just read a script to people, what happens when we just read a script to somebody? What's our rate of rejection? What do you think? Pretty high? It's high. Thank you, George. Yeah, it's real 100%. High. Yeah, and AJ was talking about that before in her pre-presentation. It's frustrating. I even wrote it down here on my notebook. It's frustrating. Guess what happens? Should I go to the dark side here? Why is the failure rate in real estate so high? I told you I'd tell you the truth. Why is the failure rate for so many people so high? Anybody know?
Well, they give up.
They
shoot for the jugular. They shoot for the jugular.
But why do they give up? Why do they give up? They're nice people. They're smart people. They're motivated. Why do they give up?
They can't sell.
They can't what?
Sell.
They can't sell. But they can't sell. But do you think it's the Wall Street Journal had an article yesterday.
Fear of failure?
Fear of failure, rejection. Who wants to keep touching a hot stove? Who wants the phone to be like a cactus? Okay. We're well-meaning, we study hard, we pay for a lot of information, and then we pay for leads, and then we get on the phone. And what do the prospects say to us? That really sucks our soul out of us. They say things like, "You're the 10th person to call me. Are you another one of those bottom-feeding investors? Call me next week." What happens when we finally get somebody on the phone and we get that kind of answers? How does that make us feel?
Very bad.
Wow.
Very, very bad. It's horrible. And you know what? can you imagine if you get on the phone with people and you have the skill set, you know how to ask questions, you know how to engage people. My mentor was a natural. He couldn't explain to me how he does it. He was just intuitive. Okay. He just would get on the phone. He was a lighthearted, fun guy. And he'd look, and what I broke down, I studied years and years, different areas of psychology. And I found out that he was doing things in such a way, and he was asking questions and blending them with, here's something real important, stroking, nurturing, and empathy. He was making them feel good. Has everybody here met somebody you just instantly like that person? You felt a connection to that person. Have we all met that person? That, you know, and that's a person, that's somebody who we're just comfortable, we're confident, we can engage with that person. Okay, and that was the skill. He could create that environment. So I took everything I studied and everything I learned from my mentor, and I made it into a simple 3-step system. 3 steps, and I'll show you, I have a mind map and everything else. It was really funny though. My business went from watching every penny, being broke, having all this real estate, dealing with tenants and toilets and everything, to actually becoming very profitable because I was closing more deals with less stress, rejection, and frustration. It's all, I say sales is the $1 million skill. You could be the smartest person in the room. I'm sure there are people here much smarter than me. Okay, so a lot of my students who I mentor are smarter than me. They have PhDs and things like that. I'm just a simple recovering attorney. Okay, and the thing is, they are well-meaning, they're smart, they work hard, they spend a lot of money, and then when they get on the phone, they're a deer in the headlights. Okay, we're in, can everybody agree? Are we in a competitive world? Are we the only salesperson calling up our prospects? No. It's a lot. How many of us have heard, oh, you're the 3rd person to call us this week? What is there, a convention in town or something like that? How do you differentiate? What do you want that prospect to say about you when they get off the phone with you? What do you want them to say, James? James Gross. What do you want them to say? Unmute.
Let's have a beer.
Let's have a beer.
Let's celebrate.
He's an Australian. I think one snuck in the room there. Only Australians love beer more than me. There. You want them to say, I like that James. I feel good about him. He was a straight arrow. I think he's got our back. I think he's a guy he's an honest businessman. I feel good about him. Okay, that's what you're going for on that. But we need a system. Most of us are just winging it. We're reading a script, or we get on the phone and we're a little self-conscious. Or the prospect. Do you know the prospect has a system? What do prospects do to us when we finally get them on the phone? Do they question us or cross-examine us? How many of us have been on the witness stand with a prospect? Okay, and then they ask all these questions, and then they get to dismiss us. They pick our brain, free consulting we call it, and then they get rid of us. Okay, that's not the way I was taught to do this business. I just was taught, you learn a system, lease purchase, subject to, wholesaling, owner finance, whatever. You make a bunch of phone calls, and if the 100 people say no, you walk into the sunshine and make another 100 phone calls. Does that work? No, because if we get too frustrated, I love that word, AJ, thank you. When we get too frustrated, do we go back? Oh, I can't wait till Monday morning. I want to make 100 phone calls and have people pee on my back and tell me it's raining. Is that the way we feel? We gotta make sales fun and profitable. And the only way to do that is to have a system where we are control, where we can create motivation, where we can get information. And can you believe that you can make offers in the first phone call? What do you think, Annette? My friend Annette. What did you say, Claude? Who?
I absolutely think you can do it in the first call, but you can't do it if you don't warm them up and make friends with them first.
Yeah. There's a certain amount of charismatic behavior that is necessary. Telling third-party stories, making people laugh. I give my students, I mentor a little under 200 students in different countries all over the world. And I tell them, I want you to go out there. Can you engage? can you, what's the word I'm looking for? I wrote it down here before. Can you initiate a conversation with a total stranger? I went running this morning. I run every day. I run and swim every day. And I was going down this little single track trail here in the mountains. And there was a lady walking her dog, and it's only about 3 feet. So I always stand aside, and I engaged her, and I said, "Oh, what a beautiful dog. What is he?" Boom. We were talking for 5 minutes there. Now, normally you meet a stranger on the trail, you might be a little reluctant or hesitant or even scared. I engaged her, and we had a lovely conversation, and I practiced these skills. And if you can do what I'm talking about on the phone, you have the $1 million skill. So I'm going to talk a little bit about guts and sales, and then we'll take a few questions. And so everything.
Let's jump on in, Claude, because we're 20 minutes in, so let's go.
Oh gosh, yeah. I could. My daughter gave me once the highest compliment. She said, "Dad, you could talk to peeling wallpaper for 15 minutes." Okay. Everything I'm going to teach you today is going to be probably the opposite of a lot of sales gurus and things like that. In fact, I'm going to show you a movie here real quick. Can you guys anybody here like Seinfeld? Any Seinfeld fans? I'm going to show you a movie here. If I can find it. There it is. This is from, and let me make sure I can share my sound. Okay, good. Let me know if you can hear this.
Me sitting out there today that every decision I've ever made in my entire life has been wrong. My life is the complete opposite of everything I want it to be. Every instinct I have in every aspect of life, be it something to wear, something to eat, it's all been wrong. Everyone.
Tuna on toast, coleslaw, cup of coffee.
Yeah. No, wait a minute. I always have tuna on toast. Nothing's ever worked out for me with tuna on toast. I want the complete opposite of tuna on toast. Chicken salad on rye, untoasted, with a side of potato salad and a cup of tea.
Well, there's no telling what can happen from this.
You know, chicken salad's not the opposite of tuna. Salmon's the opposite of tuna, because salmon swim against the current, and the tuna swim with it.
Good for the tuna.
Here's the part I love.
George, you know, that woman just looked at you.
So what? What am I supposed to do?
Go talk to her.
Elaine, bald men with no jobs and no money who live with their parents don't approach strange women.
Well, here's your chance to try the opposite. Instead of tuna salad and being intimidated by women, chicken salad and going right up to them.
Yeah, I should do the opposite. I should.
If every instinct you have is wrong, then the opposite would have to be right.
Payment sales.
Yes. I will do the opposite. I used to sit here and do nothing and regret it for the rest of the day. So now I will do the opposite, and I will do something. Excuse me, I couldn't help but notice that you were looking in my direction.
Oh, yes, I was. You just ordered the same exact lunch as me.
My name is George. I'm unemployed and I live with my parents.
I'm Victoria. Hi.
Okay. I love that. I show it all the time. If everything you're doing is wrong, then the opposite would be correct. We're going out there, we're doing marketing, we're getting good leads from AJ, we're making phone calls and appointments are set up, and we're getting either a lot of voicemail, and there's a way to handle that too, to get return calls on voicemail, or we're getting a lot of, I'll think about it, I got to talk to my spouse and everything else. We got to stop using scripts. We've got to learn to use a system and ask questions and stay in control and have fun and build our confidence and, of course, go to the bank. And that's the key. We got to start doing some things differently, because no matter how hard you work, how smart you are, how much money you spend, it's always going to come down to persuasion and influence. Let me go to my other mind map here. There it is. Gosh, I love when Zoom works. Can you guys see that okay?
Yep. Can you just put it on full screen?
Let me try that again. Let's see if we can get to full screen. That's Keynote. That's full screen. That's as full as it's getting. I don't know why.
You're on now 44%. If you can maybe just zoom it in. There we go.
Let's get that. Maybe open that up a little.
That's
There we
better.
go.
Awesome. Thanks, Claude.
There we go. Can I give everybody a gift first? I have a gift for everybody. If you want my book, I usually sell it. You guys can have it for free. Send me an email to mentor@mac.com and put in there, I love AJ. You have to put that in the subject. I love AJ, and I'll send you this book tomorrow morning for free, a PDF, okay?
Just to confirm, Claude, you've got the email there as mentor@me.com, but you said mentor@mac.com, correct?
Either one works. Mentor@me, mentor@mac. Claude Diamond at Mac, anything you want. You send that, I love AJ, you get it for free. I have a $3,500 package on PhoneFear. For the next 24 hours, you guys can have it for $9.95 at that link below if you'd like. It's also in the chat box. Okay, commercial over. Let's talk a little bit about the $1 million rule. This is the most important thing I teach. People make, everybody write this down or take a picture, or if you send me a nice email and say, Claude, could I have your PowerPoint presentation? Maybe I'll send it to you. I have about 85 slides here. People make immediate business decisions based on emotion. They only justify it later rationally, intellectually. Okay? How many of us here, raise of hands, besides George, how many of us have made decisions emotionally? Absolutely, we all. How many of us the next morning said, why did I do that? Oh God, why did I do that? Okay, so sometimes we make a decision emotionally. I close people on real estate deals emotionally. Okay, when I say emotionally, is emotional selling, and gut system is about emotional selling, asking questions the right way, setting it up so people, when we're talking about real estate, is real estate emotional? Can it be emotional? Or should we talk about square footage and how many bidets are in the property? What should we talk about? What do you think it would sound like? And Alicia, I know you're interested in this home. Can you see you and your special significant other in front of the fireplace? It's a cold night in Australia. Do you ever have cold nights in Australia?
Yeah, we sure do.
Yeah. Okay. You're there. You got your favorite adult beverage. The fire's going. You're snuggling on a quilt. You got a roast in the oven. Don't tell me you're a vegan. And it's the smells and everything. And it's storming outside. I see you in this house for some reason, AJ. What you wouldn't be interested in talking about terms to get you in this and having those special nights, would you?
Oh, no, in that zone, my emotional state is going to be one of relaxation and reflection and gratitude and all these different things, right? So yeah.
But you don't want to be under the quilt in front of the fireplace with a brandy, in other words.
Oh yeah, I'm there.
And so we sell emotionally because it works. People make very quick decisions. We get information. And here's one of the most important things. We turn the prospect into the salesperson. We do this by asking questions. But questions by their very nature can be abrasive, can't they? Does anyone want to be caught? Anybody here ever get pulled over by a cop or I hope not cross-examined on the witness stand or something? It's not comfortable. So you have to learn how to ask questions with a stroke, with nurturing, with empathy. And one of my super secrets I'm sharing is something called redirection. Okay, that's why we go in the opposite way. So let's go to my first, let's go to one of my mind maps here. I love mind maps. The gut system is like a staircase, 3 little steps: agenda, qualification, commitment to close. The agenda is basically where we set up the rules in the beginning. And we say to the prospect, hey, George, George Henko, can I ask you a few questions? I'm very interested in your property. I'd like to make you an offer today on it. And I'm sorry, I'm very busy. I've got a lot of appointments and a closing today. But if I could ask you a few questions, then you ask me a few and I'll make you an offer and we can do business, or you can tell me to get lost. Is that fair, Mr. Henko?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, you're a great guy. Thank you. Now, off the roll. Thank you, George, for participating. The thing about it is, in the beginning, have you ever met a salesperson who said it's okay to say no, just to reject me? You got to set up in the beginning what you want to do. And did you notice I said something very emotional to the prospect? I'd like to make you an offer today. Is that all right? Is that legal? Does anyone have a problem with that? I'll make you an offer. Maybe they'll accept, maybe they won't accept. But do you think they hear that from your competition? No.
No.
Absolutely not. So we ask questions, we set up the roadmap, we tell them it's okay to say yes or no, and then we go into qualifications. So here is here's the agenda map. We ask questions with redirections. James, you wouldn't be interested in a property. If I could get the property for the right price for you, that fits your budget, that's in the location and the schools that you want for your children are in that nearby location, you wouldn't be able to make a commitment today, would you?
I don't know.
Who would?
My wife.
Oh, let's get her on Zoom then. The bottom line, what I just did, if you guys were really listening acutely, did you hear me say you wouldn't? Okay, things in motion stay in motion. If I go negative, is it possible that somebody could go positive? Isn't that human instinct, human nature? Okay, and so sometimes when we want a negative answer, I'll go very strong positive. Sometimes when I want a positive answer, I'll go very strong negative. Then I'll also set it up for them at the end of the conversation. Would you do me, hey, would you do me, Annette, would you do me a favor at the end of this conversation? I hope we can do business, but if we can't, would you just fire me? Would you just say
I can
no?
do that.
Oh, you're wonderful. Thank you. Because I don't want to waste your time. You don't want me calling and leaving messages if we just can't do a deal today. But thank you for that. Boom. Okay, that's the agenda. You set that up front. The next thing, the most important and probably the hardest part of the gut sales method is you've got to qualify people. How many of us besides me, have given $1 million brilliant presentations to people and found out they weren't the owner of the property or they didn't have the money? Anybody else besides me? I'm the only one? Okay, so we got to learn to qualify up front. When do you think we should talk about money, by the way? In the beginning, in the middle, or the end? Anybody?
My instinct tells me the beginning.
Yeah.
The
beginning, yeah. AJ, let me just ask you something, and I'll be glad to answer all your questions and everything like that. Have you set up a budget? Are you, you mind if we talk about money for a second? Money's important. We're talking about real estate. Is that all right with you?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Well, off the role play, I just got permission. Then I'd say, this is a very nice house. It's got a view of the Sydney Opera House, and it's just a beautiful location. And this is a $2 million one-bedroom apartment. That's probably what it goes for around there. This is a $2 million property. That's a lot of money. Are you pre-qualified? Do you have that kind of money available? Could you tell me a little bit more about the money situation, if you don't mind me asking?
Hey, Claude, what I might actually get you to do, because remember, like 99% of the people on this call are all vacant land, and it's all about acquisitions. So could we switch the context is good. Could we switch the content to being more about leads and acquisitions? So how do we qualify a lead at this stage and start it off from there?
We qualify first with money. Do they have the money to buy the land? Okay.
So this would be about acquiring the land. So we've got a lead that's come in and we want to convert that lead into a contract so we can buy that land from them.
Oh, okay. So you're talking about making an offer to buy the land.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's that would be a qualification. First of all, motivation. Gee, Alicia, this is a beautiful piece of property. How long have you owned it, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, 5 years.
Right, why don't you keep it another 5? Why are you selling it? You keep it. It's only gonna go up in value. It's a beautiful piece of property.
Yeah, it's got problems and I really need to get rid of it.
When you say problems, I'm not sure if I understand. What do you mean?
Yeah, there's a probate that needs getting done on the property. I inherited it. Don't really want it anymore. Paying taxes
Okay.
on it. Yeah.
Okay, I understand. Now, off the role play, why did I did the complete opposite of what any other salesperson would do. What did I say to her? Anybody pick it up?
You did the positive and the negative.
Why don't you just keep it?
Why don't you just
why don't you keep it another 5 years?
Right. What did that force Alicia to do?
She's going to give you what's causing her the pain, why she wants to sell it. And so
Right.
you're going to be able to go a little bit deeper, and you're going to be able to use that to get her to sell it to you.
Right. It's well said. I told her to keep the property. It'll only go up in value. Why do you want to sell it? And then that forced AJ to say, well, it's got problems, it's got legal issues, we need the money. All of a sudden, AJ qualified herself. She turned into the salesperson and gave me all that information instead of me trying to bully it out of her and pick her brain and everything. So you see, get the prospect to give it to you on a silver platter. They will tell you exactly how to sell them. So now I know her level of motivation. Okay, and that's
What about if
really
you're dealing? Yeah, this is really good. Because it's interesting. You just did a George Costanza. You did the opposite of what I thought most people do, right? What about if you're dealing with someone that doesn't have that motivation? So that list I said before, they're not necessarily a motivated seller, but they're curious. They're maybe they're thinking of selling. How would you approach that, Claude?
Yeah, hi, AJ. My name's Claude Diamond. I've got your name and phone number here. Why am I calling you?
Ooh, good one. Yeah, because I submitted a thing on the website to talk about my property. I'm just curious about what you'd give me for it.
Oh, and you must have sold it already. I'm sure of it. It's a beautiful property. I saw the picture. Now I remember. I saw the pictures. You must have sold it. It's gone, right?
No, I haven't sold it yet. I'm getting lots of people calling me every day. Like you're the 10th person I've spoken to this week, but I'm waiting to get the right offer.
You always remember your 10th, right? Not your first. So what would you like from me? I'd like to, I'm an investor. I have excellent credit and references. I'd like to buy it. I'm looking for a property today. Why should I buy yours?
Ooh, I like where you're going with this. Why should you buy mine? Oh, look, it is a great property, but I want to get as much as I can for it. So what have you got for me? What can you offer?
I don't know. That's a great question. How much would you like? Give me a number.
I'm looking at getting it for market value, so I want 50,000 for it.
Okay, and that's market value, and that's fair. And if I was in your position, I'd want the same thing. Good for you. And can I ask you 1 or 2 quick questions just to get a better idea?
Yeah.
And I'll make you an offer, and God bless you if you say no to me. Okay? This property isn't free and notice my language, people. This property isn't free and clear, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, okay. So you want 50,000, it's market and it's free and clear. Suppose I offered to give you 50,000 on a contract today. And you're the decision maker, I assume, right? Or are there other people on this property deed?
No, it's all mine. I'm the decision maker. Yeah, I'd do that.
So if I offer you $50,000, you and I can do a contract today?
Yep, we can.
What? I'm sorry, my hearing aid fell out. What?
Yep, we can.
What did I just off the role play? What did I just get? The big C. Commitment. Now I've got to fix it. Do I want to buy a property at full price for all cash? No. Now I have to finesse it a little. So, hey, I appreciate that, AJ. Let me ask you this. Suppose I was to offer you the full 50,000, your asking price, and I asked you to hold the mortgage, and I'll pay you 6% interest over 5 years with a balloon. You wouldn't want to do a deal like that right now and get this property off your back, would you?
Well, I'm not sure. I'd need to run the numbers.
Okay, let's assume I put 1,000 down and I pay you 1,000 a month principal only payments for 50 months. Could you live with that? You get a nice
That
check
might
every.
work. Yeah, that might work. That'd help me out with some cash flow. It's vacant land though, so I don't know, because it's still kind of sitting there without being used. So being that it's vacant land, I don't know how that's going to help you.
I appreciate that you're worrying so much about me, but that's my problem, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess it is. Yeah.
Okay, so I just made you an offer. If I send, how do you feel if I send you a contract today, right now through DocuSign? You wouldn't be able to get that back to me before 2:30 Saturday afternoon, would you?
Yeah, I could definitely take a look at that, and I'll go run my numbers, and we might have a deal.
Is that might yes or might no? I'm not sure if I understand.
Might yes, yeah.
Okay, can I ask a small favor? I'll put the deal down. I'll send it to you right now. And could you get that back to me before 2:30 this afternoon? Or I'll tell you what, why don't we just set up a follow-up meeting right now for 2:30 on Zoom? You can ask me any questions and we'll either move forward or we'll say it's over. Is that fair?
Yep, that's fair. That's fair.
I'll see you at 2:30. I'll send you the agreement and maybe we'll figure it out. Yeah, it's a pleasure to do business with you. Thank you.
Pleasure. Thank you, Claude.
Boom. I don't know enough about this property, but I think the most important thing is qualifying, getting commitment, negotiating. What if I find out that the property is not worth 50,000? Can I fix that or renegotiate it on the secondary phone call? Yes. What's the most important thing I got from AJ from that conversation?
Commitment.
Commitment.
Right. So now let's assume, just to move fast here, because we're running out of time. I got the contract. It's a nice property in a nice neighborhood. It's 50,000 and I have owner financing. How do I make money with that property?
You sell
Anybody?
it on.
I
You
sell
can
it.
sell
What's
it.
right, George, it's full market price, but what's the value of the deal I negotiated with AJ? What's the value?
Well, you
The
haven't.
value of the note.
The value of the note. Do you think I can sell this to another investor who doesn't want to go to the bank, who doesn't want to go through the whole rigmarole? I have a price. So if I go to, I'll go back to George again. I'm sorry, George, you're on my screen here, so you're easy for me to pick on. George, George the investor, how are you, buddy?
Oh, great, great.
George, I got a smoking deal. I got a beautiful property. I got it for $50,000 with owner financing. Okay, so you don't need the bank or anything. And I'm just looking to turn this over really quick because I'm in the middle of a couple other deals. Would you be interested in a property where the owner is financing it? It's a principal only payments, $1,000 a month, 50 months.
Sure. What's the property worth?
It's worth 50,000. I got it for 50,000. I'll sell it to you for 5,000 today. I'm in a good mood.
Okay.
Well, you're easy. I wish they all went like that. The thing about it is, I realized it's either, and this is important, it's either price or terms, people. If you get we all want the under market price. We all want that 15 to 50% under market. But can you always get that? Of course not. But if you get a property, and a lot of properties are free and clear, as you know, if you can get owner financing, where maybe it's principal only or amortized interest rates and principal together, have you created something of value that you can sell to either another investor or maybe somebody who wants to build on the land or live on it or something? Have you created something there? Yes, you eliminated the bank. So so back to qualification, the second step, you need to know how you can do business with that person, how you make your offers, you find out their level of motivation. What was AJ's level of motivation in that? Pretty low, really. I think it was a 3 or a 4 at the most.
Yep,
Okay.
I was just curious. Yeah.
So what's the one thing we can change a 3 or a 4 in the first phone call? What's the one thing we can do to make her into a 7, 8, or 9? Speed. I'm ready to do business today. I can make you an offer today. I want to have a follow-up with you today. Don't let the grass grow when you get a prospect. Whose responsibility is it to create motivation, to qualify, to get to set up future appointments? Whose responsibility is that?
That's ours.
It's ours. You cannot, this is the moment, all the time, the studying, the leads, everything you've done, it comes to that one magic moment I talk about. It is when you can get someone on the phone and speak in a very optimistic way. I am looking for a property. I'd like to make you an offer today. Can I ask you a few questions? You asked me a few. Why? Then you use the psychology of guts. Guts has a lot of psychology in it. I have studied Dr. Cialdini, the psychology of persuasion. So many different. Oh God, a little Freud. A little. Who's the guy who rang the bell for the dogs?
Pavlov.
Pavlov.
Claude, can you just maybe take a moment to explain what GUTS stands for? Because we've kind of skipped over that.
Thank you. GUTS stands for great, untraditional, unorthodox techniques of sales and success. That's a long mnemonic, isn't it? But it takes guts to be the key to the key to business is, can you speak to at least 5 people a day? Okay, if you can speak to a few people every day, make offers every day, set up follow-up, send them contracts, send them video follow-up, make offers. We've got to get back on the phone. Okay, people are reluctant. There was a Wall Street Journal article the other day. People are reluctant to answer their phone, talk on the phone. We've got to get them on the phone. If you speak, let's say you speak on a Monday, you speak to 2 people directly. They're leads, they're property owners. The next day you speak to 3. The next day you take off. Thursday or Friday you speak to 4 or 5 people. If you can consistently get into a routine and speak to people, your prospects, on a daily basis and make offers, I will guarantee you will succeed if you use my system. I will guarantee it. I'll even put it in writing. The problem is we do too much macro. We do too much busy work. What's the one thing all of us in this room can do today to make money? One thing.
Make more calls.
Gotta talk to people. You
Yeah.
can't automate a hug from your mother. Okay. You
Yeah.
can't automate. There's a lot of things we can use AI and automate and things like that. But how is the deal? Where is the deal made? On the phone.
Yeah.
And this
Hey,
is
Claude, in the interest of time as well,
Yes.
because I really want this to be focused on acquisitions and the fact that we are a seller's market. We've got some questions in the chat. Can you talk to what you would recommend for people when they are dealing with a lot of leads at the moment that want market, that are fishing for a higher amount? Like, talk to us less about the structuring it as like a sub-2 deal or a seller finance deal, but what are some different strategies you can give people on this call to get that prospect to move past, I want market and I'm going to hold on for as much as I can?
You have to take, this goes back to, you have to take a aura. You have to be assertive. Okay. It's one of the worst things I say to my students. I'll say, George and a couple of others there, I'll say, you're a really nice person. Okay. Is there room for assertiveness in business?
Yes.
Would you like a doctor who says, a wishy-washy doctor says, gee, I don't know, maybe it'll work. I've never done this operation before. Or do you want when you're talking to people, do you have the right to be assertive? Do you have the right to show leadership on the call? So you might want to use things like scarcity, social proof, reciprocity, authority, like I just said. You all, of course, want rapport and bonding with people. But if somebody says, I don't know, I'm not ready to sell or anything, hey, you know what? I need a deal. I'm ready to make you an offer today. Are you sure you want me to get off the phone? Because I'm ready to do business right now. You might get off the phone, Alicia, and you might, this scares me. You might have regrets. Are you sure we can't do business today? Or tell me you don't want to.
What if my response to that was, yeah, I'm willing to wait for the best offer?
When you say best offer, I'm not a mind reader. What do you mean by best offer? Help me out.
Yeah, I want to get a little bit more for my property, so I'm holding out for as much as I can.
More means
more money.
I know that means more money, but how much? Help me out.
Yeah, if I can get 55,000 for it, I'd be happy.
Okay, let's take a timeout. That was a great role play. Good. These go fast sometimes. You don't really see what happens when it happened. I said, I don't know. Can you help me? What do you mean by that? And you said one other thing, and I said, which means we don't, the first dimension price always.
Loses.
Thank you. Okay. So it's called feigning ignorance. Little $10 word there. I don't know what you mean. I don't understand. Three most important words I teach my students. When a prospect asks a question, I want more. What? I don't know what you mean by more. Can you help me? People love to rescue. So if you act or you pretend like of course you know what you want to pay or how much more, you know the answer, but you make them do all the work, because then they'll reveal to you what the deal is, what the amount is. How about let's do another role play. Tell me, well, I don't want to sell it for another 5 years until I retire. Anybody ever get that objection? I'm not ready to sell it yet. I want to sell it in a couple of years. Go ahead.
Yep.
Give me that one, Alicia.
Yeah. So, all right. So yeah, look, I'm curious about a price, but I'm just going to hold it for the next 5 years because, maybe I just want to put it into my retirement.
You know what? Can I be the first person you call? And I'll do a deal with you quickly. Yeah. Could we do something? It's called a first right of refusal. It's a very simple agreement. I'll send it to you right now. And when you're ready to sell, you call me up and maybe we can do a deal real fast for the price and terms you want. And you won't have to pay a real estate commission or closing costs. Is that fair?
Oh, I love that. I've never heard of a first right of refusal. What's that?
I used it on dates. No, it basically means that contractually you have committed to call me when you are ready to sell it.
Great strategy, by the way.
It's a simple agreement and nobody uses it. Another way I do things, here, let's do the same thing again. You're not ready to sell it, but you know the price you want. Let's do that role play.
Yeah, I'm not ready to sell it because I've seen all these realtors out there that are selling it. They're selling land all the time and they're getting a really good price. So I think I might just go and list it with a realtor.
Well, realtors are expensive. What are they, 6-7% there?
I guess I heard someone the other day that was up to 10%.
I'll tell you what, I'd like to buy it now. And you don't want to sell that until 2027, you said? Something like that?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I'll give you a contract right now. It's called an option. And you and I, we will negotiate the price, put in the terms. If you want to hold the mortgage or if you want all cash, we'll put that all in an agreement. And I cannot exercise or buy that property until January 2027. Your problems are over and you made more money because you didn't pay a realtor. You wouldn't want to do that, would you?
No, that actually, I didn't know that was an option to me. So that's really interesting.
Which means?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
I'm very annoying. I'm sorry. I like people to repeat good news.
Yeah. Let's go with another one. So you've called me and I've said, look, I just want to think about it. I'm not sure. I know how much I want for the
You're not allowed to. I'm sorry. You're not allowed to.
Oh, sorry. What did you say?
Did I stutter? You're not allowed to think about it. You know what? And please don't get mad at me. But you know why I just said that? Usually when people say that, what they don't want to hurt my feelings and they really mean no. If it's over, we're adults. I'm not a high pressure guy. Why don't we just say it's over?
Okay.
Now that it's over, and then you go right back into it again. Now that it's over, you told me that you and your significant other want to pay some bills. You have a daughter who's going to have a very expensive wedding, and you want to buy 5 chihuahuas. Can you imagine if you and I did a deal right now, and you got that big, beautiful check for all those problems? That wouldn't change anything, would it? If we could do business right now and give you that big check, nice, big, beautiful check.
Yeah, that would actually help. Yeah.
Okay. I just remember what I said for you people who were on earlier. It's emotional selling. $1 million rule. People make immediate business decisions emotionally. I went back to what I call AJ's needs and greeds. Pay bills, a wedding. She wants to buy expensive dogs, whatever it is. You've got to find out early what is their level of motivation. And you've got to find a need, create a need or exacerbate the need. People
Yeah.
buy emotionally. If you just give them facts and figures, they're gonna yawn. I'll say, I'll think about it. What did I get everyone's attention when I said that outrageous thing? Only a Yank would speak like that, right, Alicia? You're not allowed to think
Yeah.
about it. Right?
It's a very controversial thing to say, but it got my attention.
What have you got? Here's the question. What have you got to lose if they're dismissing you? Oh, well, let me ask the group. Somebody else who hasn't spoke. Mr. Schmidt, love the name. My best friend in New York City was Paul Schmidt. Let me ask you something. When they say, Joe, I'll think about it, what do they really mean, Joe?
No.
No, he's right. They mean no, they're just being polite. So do you have anything? And it's been hard. How hard is it to get a good prospect on the phone? It costs a lot of money. What's a prospect worth? You get them on the phone. Isn't it worth taking a shot, even if you might make them mad? Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
You've got nothing to lose. Go for it. So sometimes people do get mad at your Uncle Claude here. But the thing about it is, are you getting them are you getting their attention? Yes. Are you getting them emotionally charged? Yeah. Go ahead. Be mad at me. Say, how dare you or something. You're not allowed to think about it, Miss Jarrett.
How dare you tell me that, dear Lord?
You know what? It's this New York City DNA in me or something. It's something. I apologize. I didn't mean it. I just mean that I think you're more worried about my feelings. I'm a sensitive guy. I cry at Disney movies. Usually when people say no to me, they want to think about it. They really mean no. Is it over?
Nope.
Oh, it's not? What do you need from me? I'd love to do business with you. What do you need from me in order for us to move forward today?
I think I just need an offer that's closer to my expectations.
What? And your expectations are?
Look, if you were to give me a cash offer today, I might drop back from 50 to say 40, if you can get it done quick for me.
40. I was going to offer you 30. We couldn't split the difference and make it 35, and you got a deal right now, and I'll close in 30 days.
Yeah, let's do it.
What?
Let's do it.
Boom. I disagree with that book by Mr. Voss, by the way. I split the difference every day. Did I just say $5,000, by the way?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. How much fun is sales? How much fun are we? Raise your hand if you're having fun here too.
I love sales. Can we open it up to the group? I know that we're nearly at time, but guys, if you can stay on, we're willing to go a little bit over. Let's open it up to the group. Bring us some scenarios, people, of different situations you've had with property owners that you're like, how would I handle this one, Claude?
Yeah, I have a question from Patricia saying, what about someone who wants what they paid for it years ago, but it's not even worth half that for today's market? My offer would be even half of market value now. How can you make that work?
Okay, repeat the first part. I'm sorry, I missed that. It blipped out on my side.
So Patricia said they paid for it years ago. It's not worth half of it what it's worth now. And the offer that she's making is half of what it's worth now.
Okay, and so it's worth less than what they paid for it, but they want the market value.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's role play it again. Alicia, can I keep you on the hot seat?
Where's Patricia? I'm going to get Patricia to come off and role play it with you.
By the way, brave people who turn their video on and send me an email, mentor@mac, get a free book. But you have to say, I love Alicia or AJ.
Patricia, I can see that you've come off mute. Let's go.
Yeah.
Where are you?
Okay. Yeah. It actually is someone on my block. She paid $45,000 for it in the 1990s and has been paying property taxes on it every single year. She would like to at least get back her $45,000, even though she knows she probably won't get all of the property taxes throughout the years. Today's market value on her lot is only $25,000, and I would only be offering $15,000 at the very, very most.
Okay, let's role play it, Patricia. I got it. You be her, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, Patricia, how much did you say again you want for your property?
I paid $45,000 for that lot, and I'm not going to sell it until I get what I can get, and I should be getting $45,000.
Absolutely. I totally agree. Why don't you just make it 50 or 65,000?
Okay, you're gonna pay me 50,000?
I didn't say that. I just said, what if, why don't you do? I mean, if we're going to be crazy, ridiculous, why don't we just go all the way? Let's make it 75,000.
I don't like how you said that.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Pity my poor wife. She has to put up with me all this time with stuff like this. But here's the problem. I'd love to do business with you today, but how do I justify paying 40, 35, 40, $50,000 for a property that has a market value of 20?
I don't believe that. I had, and this is what she actually said too. I had an appraiser go out and he appraised everything for 45,000. And I know that's a lie. I know that's a
Can you
lie.
send me that documentation? And if that is a certified appraiser and that's a recent comp, we'll have a completely different discussion.
Okay, that sounds good.
They have a license plate in Missouri. Does anyone know what it says on it?
No.
Show me state.
Show me.
Show me. Okay, she doesn't have that because we know it's not true. It's not market value. So how can it be appraised by any certified appraiser for 2-3 times more than the valuation of the property? I mean, it's not going to happen. So this is what we call getting a lesson. Can you do business with everybody? No. But so if you have a ridiculous person on the phone, let's get a lesson. Let's have some fun here. Let's see what we can negotiate. Let's see what we can do. Okay. What's the most, I say something very controversial, one of my books. This is a book I wrote last year, The Rules of the Gut Sales Method. One of the rules is the salesperson, I get in trouble with this rule too. The salesperson comes first. What happens if we're being manipulated? We're asked a lot of questions. We drive in our car in traffic, we buy people lattes, and then they say, I'll think about it, or give us ridiculous prices. What happens to our motivation?
Yeah.
Goes downhill. So we can't do business with everybody. So once in a while, let's have some fun. Let's hone our skills. Can we follow up? Can we follow up with Patricia, the land seller? Can we follow up with her in 6 months?
Okay.
Oh, ring, ring, Patricia, ring, ring.
Oh, hi.
Hi, Patricia. Siri just called me, you know, that little electronic thing in the Apple computer, and she said I needed to call you. You must have sold that land by now, right?
No, haven't yet.
Would you like to sell it?
Sure, I want to.
Would you like to sell it today?
Well, no, you weren't going to offer me what I wanted. So
What do you want? Has anything changed?
Nothing's changed. No.
Oh, okay. So even if I gave you $15,000 cash in a 30-day or less closing, we couldn't do business today, right?
No, we could, I'd take it. I'd take it. Mm-hmm.
Oh, you would take it?
Yeah.
Okay, this is a closing now. We're switching to a closing. Guts has a very unique closing. So I'll tell you what, I really appreciate it. I'm so glad following up off the role play. Is following up important, people? Everybody say yes. Follow up. Save your notes. Follow up. Why? Because people change their minds all the time. They have different.
And their life changes daily.
Yes. Yes. So Patricia, we couldn't do a deal 6 months ago, but maybe something changed. Maybe she's got a big bill or something happened. She needs the money now. And it's funny, if you follow up, you give them a score 1 through 10. We call that the EQ, the emotional quotient score. And you save your notes. Okay. Oh, I would have plenty of notes. And then you trigger it. You put it in your calendar to follow up, a trigger or whatever you call it, to remind you, and you save your notes and you call back. Guess what happens when you follow up with people? Is that a daily phone call you can do after a few months? Do you think you'll have plenty of follow-ups? And do you have information, and do you know the person already? Do you have a connection with them already? Ring, ring. Hi, Patricia. You probably don't remember me. This is Crazy Claude. I'm the guy who told you couldn't think about it 6 months ago. And you must have sold that house by now, right? And she said, no, maybe she's more motivated and we can do the deal. Okay. This is what good gut salespeople do.
Okay. So how are you going to give me the 60,000 then?
I'm not going to I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna give you 60,000. I can't make money overpaying on a property, but I can give you 15,000 fast. And if you say no and we can't agree on a price, it's over.
Okay.
It's over. Can't overpay for, we meet people like this with unrealistic expectations every day. Okay. So we save the information, we follow up, maybe they'll change, maybe they'll get a, realization of the value of the property, or they'll need it. This is that consistent behavior. Talk to, rule of 5, guys. Most important thing I can teach you. Speak to 5 people a day, make 5 offers a day, send them contracts, follow up with them, save your notes. And if you can just speak to a few people every day and learn how to ask questions. What does your doctor do? Coach Andrew, what does when you go to see your doctor, what does he or she do when they come in with that white jacket and that clipboard? What do they say to you, Coach Andrew?
Actually, they just say, hey, how you doing? And what's going on? What do we have going on here? Something like that.
Exactly. Exactly. So we need to do what the doctor, what the lawyer does. Hey, why are you here? Does it hurt? When did it start hurting? And we learn to ask questions with stroking and nurturing and empathy. We got to get who should be talking more? The prospect or the prospect or the salesperson?
It's got to be the prospect. Yeah.
Right. What happens? There's something magical when you ask questions the right way. The magic happens because the prospect, this is important, the prospect turns into the salesperson, and they tell you why they need the money, why they're selling the land, what they're looking for. They'll give it all to you. So now you know, instead of guessing and giving this long, boring presentation, now you know exactly how to sell them.
Yep. I'm going to go to one more. Have we still got
one more, and then I got to go. I got to use my scarcity. I have to go. I'm on another call. It's the truth.
About posture. Yeah.
Patricia, thank you for participating. Patricia, send me an email. I want to send you some extra gifts too.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Mentor at Mac. Go ahead. What's the next one?
Well, we've got Gordon on here. Gordon, are you still here, Gordon?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, Gordon. He was
How's it
talking
going?
about how do we approach telling the vacant landowner that, we need to find another buyer for their property, so it might take 4 to 6 months to close. How would you handle that, Claude?
Okay, why would we do that, by the way? I'm just curious.
So with a lot of people on here, they might not be buying the property, they might be getting it under contract and triaging it to try and find a buyer.
Right. Got it. And who am I talking to? I don't see his
Gordon.
This is Gordon. Hi there.
Gordon, turn on your video. Let's see that handsome face. Unless you're having a wardrobe. No
Give
wardrobe.
me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I'm sort of out and about here.
Here we go. We'll time you. This is a 3-minute timer, by the way. I give this to all my students.
There he is.
In 180 seconds, I want you to qualify that prospect and know if you've got a deal or not. Hey, Gordon, you know what? I've got a lot of clients who may be very interested in your property. But that isn't something we could talk about today, is it?
I think it is.
Could I ask you a few questions? I want to learn more about the property. Why are you selling it? It's a beautiful property. How long have you had it, if you don't mind me asking?
My family actually gave it to me.
It's a legacy. You can't sell that. You don't want to sell that.
I actually think I do.
Help me out. Why? It's been in your family. Your grandfather might come down and haunt you. Don't you want to hang on to it for a lot longer?
I've asked my brothers and my other family, and they don't want to buy it.
Okay. So why are you selling it?
I'm selling it because my daughter's getting married, and I need the money for that.
Weddings are expensive, aren't they?
Yeah.
What did I just get for free from Gordon?
Information.
Information and motivation.
What's his EQ, his emotional quotient score? 1, he couldn't care less. 10, he needs that money. What's his score? He's at 10. Should I capitalize on that emotional trigger? And then here, I'm going to give you guys, before I go, this is $1 million word. Everybody get out your pen and write this one word down. It's the most important word I teach. It can make you rich if you use it the right way. You don't want to hear it, do you? The word is The word is imagine. Hey, Gordon, let me ask you
Yes.
something. Let me ask you a few questions. You asked me a few. Imagine for a moment you and I did business today, and I was able to close very quickly and get your money to help you with the wedding, remove the. You know, we did a wedding for my daughter. My wife was up for weeks and she couldn't sleep. The stress of the money and the wedding and the family and all. How are you dealing with that, man?
Not very well.
Can you imagine if you and I decide today to do business and sometimes 30 days from now, you get that big, beautiful check and you go to your lovely significant other and say, honey, I want you to relax. Money's taken care of. Can you imagine being a man in your household like that?
I can't imagine it, and I like the sound of it.
What should I do next?
Give them the money?
Oh, okay. So, and you're the person, now you mentioned some siblings. Do they have to sign up? See, now I got to identify who's the decision maker in this deal, okay? I already got his pain, his need, his score. I used a little imagery to get him emotional, but now I listen. Listen, how important is listening? What's the hardest thing? The guys in the audience, what's the one thing women do better than men?
Listen.
He said he had siblings. What does that tell me? What do I have to find out real fast?
The probate.
Yeah. So back in the role play. So Gordon, you mentioned some brothers and sisters. Are they going to agree to doing this deal if I send you in a contract, or are we going to play phone tag for 5 months?
I'm the only one who owns the property, so they wouldn't have
just you. Oh, that's wonderful. Oh, that's great. I'll tell you what I'll do. Let's pretend we negotiated the terms or money. I'm going to send you an agreement through DocuSign. And what a pleasure to do business with you. And I wish you only the best for you and your family's wedding and everything. Could you do me a small favor?
Sure.
Could you get me back that agreement today by 4:30 so I can call the attorney and start the process to get you the money as fast as I can?
Yes, I can.
What?
Yes, I can do that.
Okay, great. Boom. That's called off the road play. That's called reciprocity. Give Gordon a hand here. We put him on the hot seat here. He did great.
Thank you.
Nice going here. Here you go. Here's the one I forgot. There you go.
Nice one, Gordon. I've just messaged Mark in the group here because I know Mark's got quite a few leads that he's working on, but he's struggling to get some of them over the line. Mark, did you want to do a quick role play at all with Claude?
I could. I don't know if did you have one particularly in mind that you were thinking of? I don't know. My brain's going all over the place.
Yeah, I know you've got quite a lot sitting in your pipeline, and Mark's kind of struggling to get them over the line. So it might be good to maybe just think about one of those, Mark, and have a.
We all have that problem. How do you get commitment from people? You use scarcity and social proof. These are from a book, a famous psychologist, University of Arizona, Robert Cialdini. If you haven't read that book, it's the Principles of Psychology and Sales. It's a book, and he basically said, what are the psychological triggers to get them over the line? What you just said. And he said, one of the best is scarcity. Another one is social proof. Social proof means whatever, Mark, if you see a bunch of people at a Popeye's chicken restaurant, long line around the building, what goes through your mind?
The food's either really good or, gosh, I don't want to stand in that line.
Yeah. The food must be, why? What do they know that I don't know? So sometimes you have to use social proof. Sometimes you use scarcity. I use them combined with a little bit of authority. And I'll say, hey, Mark, I'd love to do this deal. And I'm sorry the time is going so fast here right now. Are you comfortable? Can we move forward, or should I leave you alone at this point?
We can move forward.
Okay, so I'm good. This is the price. Are you looking for price or terms? I'm giving away everything, Alicia, today. Everything. Oh my God. Would you like price or terms on your property?
I think price would be better.
Okay, I can give you a higher price if you give me terms. You own it free and clear, you said. Suppose I made you an offer for you to get the price we discussed, but you hold the mortgage, principal only payments for 60 months, 5 years at principal only payments. You wouldn't consider that, would you?
I might. I do like the idea of cash though.
Well, I can give you $38,500 cash and close in 30 days, or I can give you closer to your asking price if you hold the mortgage. You pick.
I think I would go with the cash offer.
You think or you know?
I would go with the cash offer.
What?
I would go with the cash offer.
Make them always repeat good news. When they make a commitment, make them repeat it. Okay, pretend you got a cheap Walmart hearing aid or something like that. So sometimes, Mark, I got a feeling about you. This is the worst thing I can say. Are you a nice guy?
I am a nice guy.
Oh, you see? And what's human nature? I'm a nice guy too, but what's human nature when we're too agreeable? I'll take all the time you want, call you next week, sure. You want to think about it and everything. What's human nature when you're too agreeable and submissive?
What's human nature for the other person?
Yeah. When you're just that nice guy, no rush, no problem, easy peasy.
So they're not going to rush.
You're not going to rush. Are they going to, they're going to manipulate you? Is it human nature to manipulate the nice person?
Sure.
To ask questions to yes, it is. It is. Hey, we got another Claude. We got another Claude in the room, a Claudia Dill. Hi.
Hi there.
I married a Claudia, by the way.
I dated a Claude once in college.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. The trouble is when you have someone with the same first name and someone says, "Hey, Claude," all the heads turn. You never know who it's for.
Yep, that was my nickname.
Sorry, I had to acknowledge you there. Alicia, I gotta go. I'm sorry. This is too much fun. Did we learn anything today? Did anybody have fun?
There was one more question though, Claude, that you were going to mention that you haven't. And
Always
that's when,
one more. You got me. Always one more.
Diana said, how do we get them on the phone when they don't pick up? You were mentioning there was a strategy that you use with voicemails to get people to call you back.
Okay, this is the secret of the guts voicemail. I don't know if you guys want to learn this, but suppose there was a way you could leave a message where you could get at least 50% return phone calls. You guys don't want to. I've talked too much today.
Oh, bring it on. Bring it on.
Make them give me. I need a beep. Somebody who has a Claudia. Give me a beep. Give me a voicemail beep, Claudia.
Beep.
Oh, well, we'll put a little bit more. Hi. You know what to do. Something like that.
Beep, beep.
Okay. Hey, Claudia, this is Claude. Listen, I'm sorry it took me so long to get back to you. I have the paperwork in front of me. I need to call the attorney. Could you please call me before 2:30, 619-206-5960, so we can get this moving? Thanks a lot. Bye-bye. Best of the family. I've never called you before. You hear that message with that urgency. Do we have to be a little bit of a thespian when we're selling, when we're persuading? We have to create the right environment. Claudia gets that message. What's going through your head, Claudia? We've never spoken before.
What attorney? Why? Oh my gosh, what's going on?
What emotions have I tried to raise in you with that cryptic
uncertainty, concern, possible fear, depending on the situation?
Yeah. Who is this guy? What paperwork? Exactly. How do you think you'll react when you get a voicemail like that?
I think I would probably call back, and I don't call back.
Yeah. So that's the problem in our society and marketing right now. We leave messages, they all sound the same. And what do people do if they've received the same or similar messages? Delete, ignore, right? So we have to we have to use guts in the voicemail too. So you call me up, one more role play. Is that all right, Alicia? Okay, call me up, Claudia. You got this crazy voicemail. You don't know what it's about or anything. Hello, Diamond Consulting Group. This is Claude.
Hi, this is I got a strange phone message from you, and it sounded urgent, so I need to hear what that was about. Something about an attorney and paperwork.
I'm sorry, and your name?
Claudia.
Oh, okay. This isn't about Claudia. Help me. I'm so busy. It's a crazy day, and I feel like I took a stupid pill this morning. This isn't about real estate, is it?
I don't know.
Who would?
You would.
You don't have a property for sale or some land available, do you? A lot of people call me up for, because they want to buy or sell land. That isn't.
I do own some land, yeah.
Oh, that's it. And it's sold already, right?
No, it hasn't.
Would you like to sell it today?
Depends. Not a bad idea.
Yeah, boom.
Right price.
Well, off the role play. Give Claudia a round of applause. She did a great job. That was a great job. What just happened? When do we win? When we get people on the phone? What's the hardest thing of this business? Getting the connection, the people. Yeah. And what did I created curiosity. And with that, I said, hey, sorry. And then sorry it took me so long to get back to you or call you. Okay, we've got to be creative. We've got to be a little, we've got to do stuff like that. If we get somebody on the phone, do we win? We got a shot, don't we?
That is a win, yes.
That is a win, maybe. And then did you guys hear the redirection? I didn't get to talk much about it, but I try to go in the opposite way that is expected to get you to respond in the way I want you. This isn't about real estate, is it? Well, I don't know. Well, you don't have real estate, right? A lot of people call me. Oh, yes, I do. Boom. Now I'm in a conversation with it. Do I have a shot? Do I have a chance? Yeah. And that's gut selling.
Absolutely.
You've got to be you got to be creative. You've got to understand human behavior and the psychology of it. You've got to have a simple 3-step system that teaches you how to ask questions. And you go to the bank much more often. If I can do it, anybody can do it. Thank you.
Yeah, love it. Claude, thank you so much for bringing your enthusiasm and all of your 25 plus years of sales experience to the fore today. I know I had some fun on this call too. I think sometimes doing role plays together is a really great way to just test things. So for anyone who's interested, just drop Claude an email at mentor@mac.com or no, mac.com or mac.me.
I put it in the chat room.
Mentor@me.com. There we go. And he's got some freebies he will give you. And so that you can keep exploring this whole psychology behind sales and going the opposite. Do a George Costanza. That's going to be my takeout from today. Be a George Costanza, do the opposite and create that curiosity, because that's going to lead to a different dialogue. And always be in control of your leads, folks. Always be the one that's leading the call, asking the questions and managing those next steps. So Claude, thank you so much for all of your input today. It's been really entertaining having you on here. And thanks, Diana, for your comment there. That's great. Folks, enjoy the rest of your weekend. I know we've gone over time, so thank you.
We got to do one more thing.
Yeah.
How about a round of applause for Alicia for setting this up and getting us all together and everything? A lot of work goes into it. Don't happen by.
Thank you, Alicia.
Thank you, Alicia.
You're so welcome, folks. You're so welcome. I'm here to make sure you can close more deals.
Great idea.
Thanks, everyone. Enjoy.
Thanks.
Thank you.